Thank you. Good morning and welcome to the registration webinar for RAMP, the Regional Alliance Marketplace for Procurement. My name is Tan Bui, and on behalf of the Office of Procurement, we are pleased that you can join us today for this informative presentation. Today's webinar will include an overview of the RAMP registration process, including some commonly asked questions regarding registration, certifications, and opportunities. RAMP offers a vast number of contracting opportunities with the City of Los Angeles, as well as other regional partners who use this platform to post opportunities. Please know that this presentation is being recorded and you will receive a copy of the recording, the slide deck, and the chat history. We kindly ask that you mute yourselves in order to clearly hear today's presentation. If you have any comments or questions during the presentation, please feel free to drop them via the chat function where we have staff available to answer your questions in real time. However, if time permits at the end of our presentation, we may take a few questions from the chat and answer them verbally before the session ends at noon. We hold these webinars on a monthly basis and would like to know how many new folks have joined us this month. As such, we have a short survey that we ask you to respond to just for our own information. So we would like to know if you've ever attended one of our RAMP webinars or presentations in the past. Please take a moment to respond. All right. Crystal, can you please show us the results of the poll? So we've got about 76% new incoming registrants, just new to the RAMP platform, which is great. And then 24% returning. So it's good to see like we've got so many new and returning attendees. And next slide, please. So Leah serves as the Deputy City Procurement Officer for the City of Los Angeles Office of Procurement. This office is responsible for reviewing and recommending changes to the procurement policies, providing citywide training, and developing technologies to streamline and simplify the city's procurement process. Welcome, Leah.
Thank you, Tan. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm hoping that in the next hour that we have together, that we can provide some really helpful information to you that can help you learn more about RAMP, how to register, how to use our system, and more importantly, we really hope that you take the next step of bidding on one of the procurement opportunities that you find on our platform. So starting off, what is RAMP? RAMP stands for the Regional Alliance Marketplace for Procurement. It's hosted by the City of LA. And if you're interested in doing business with us, this is the place where you want to look and familiarize yourself. Registration is free, so you don't have to worry. But basically, all city departments within the City of LA are required to post all their procurement opportunities on this website. We spend over $4.5 billion annually. And for every time we go out to bid, it needs to show up here. And when you consider that there's also additional regional partners that also post on this website, the annual spend goes to over $10 billion worth of procurement. So there's a lot of opportunities that's housed in this platform. And we're continuing to welcome other organizations who want to post on this website as well. And not just that, but I want to also let you know that we're also including additional functionalities on the platform as well. By early next year, we're looking to include e-bidding as one of the functionalities within RAMP. And so that we're really excited about that. And if you register, we'll keep you updated on these changes and demos that will come up to make sure that you're familiar with how to use those functionalities when they do come up. So on the next slide, we share with you all our public and corporate partners. Not all. So these are just most of them. It's once again, it's not just the city that posts on this website, but there's quite a number of other public and private organizations who also use RAMP. LA 28 has committed to use RAMP to advertise any of their Olympic related procurement opportunities. So in addition to that, we're also looking to add LA County into our feed of procurement opportunities that are going to be available on RAMP. And the estimated timeline for that is before the end of this year. So we're continuing to add the value that you can get out of using our system. And on the next slide, you might be asking, like, why are we doing this? Well, that's because we believe that small businesses are the backbone of the American economy. And that's why it's really important for the city. And it's also a priority for the mayor to look for ways to encourage small and local businesses to participate in the city's procurement process. So where does RAMP fall into here, right? How can it help you? Like, first of all, we think that it can help you save time and energy by making sure that when you're looking for procurement opportunities, you're not going to have to look at all these different websites, right? Time is precious, so we're trying to save some of that time for you so that you can spend more time on your business. We also think that it's free advertising. Later on today, Ton will be sharing with you how you can uh, include in your registration a more robust profile. And so that's one way we were thinking that you can provide free advertisement through our platform. And lastly, contractors who bid on city procurement opportunities are at times required to perform a subcontractor outreach. And RAMP is a platform that they're required to use to perform that outreach. And so that's one way that we think that we can help make those connections between our prime contractors and people who want to subcontract with them. So on the next slide, we're going to talk to you about, like, potentially how would you use RAMP? Without registering, everyone has access to the information on RAMP in terms of a summary of the opportunities and the procurement opportunities that we're going out to bid for. But you'll need to register to be able to download any of the relevant documents to bid on city opportunities. You'll also need to register if you want to receive automatic notifications, bookmark opportunities, and to also receive our biweekly newsletter. One of the things that 10 is actually the limit on the number of NICS codes that you can sign up for. But one of the examples that of kind of events that we would advertise on these RAMP biweekly newsletter is the mayor's office is hosting a sports and entertainment supplier diversity summit. This will be held on October 10th on Thursday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the LA Convention Center. Registration is free. The mayor herself is going to be there. And so expect a number of contractors, and it's just a method of learning more information about the city and also being able to network with departments and also contract administrators and various other entities as well. How else could you use RAMP? I'm going to ask one of our team members to help me find the link and include. Thank you so much. Thank you, Clarence. So in another way that you could use RAMP is that you can submit certifications. At this point, not all of our certification application processes are covered on RAMP, but by the end of next year, you can expect that any of the certifications that we recognize, you can have that process through RAMP as well. So lastly, how else could you use RAMP? You can conduct research. RAMP includes not only things that we intend to go out to bid for, but it also includes information of prior procurement opportunities. A lot of the like many of the questions I receive is like, well, does the city buy this? Well, I'm not, I don't remember everything that's on RAMP, but surely it's on RAMP and it's available to you. And you could do that search yourself. So you can find out, oh, does the city buy this product? Part of the information that you will find on the page is the contract administrator. Why is that important? Well, the Office of Procurement is not, we're not a group of buyers, right? So there's a direct connection between these these contract administrators are actually your direct connection on the department who wants these products or services, and the people who are actually going to make that award. So it's really important that you can, when you find out who they are, to make those connections to find out more information. Um, it, it's important to also know that you, you want to make those connections even if these opportunities have already expired, only because we go out to bid every 3 or every 5 years, sometimes annually. And so making those connections, even if they were for expired procurements, I would say, is pretty essential as well. Um, you can learn about previously awarded contractors and award amounts. Those information is also on RAMP. So I think that that's a really good way for you to figure out, okay, who are your competitors, and certainly also whether you need to staff up for the capacity to meet the capacity in which we're going out to bid for. So those are some kinds of information that you may want to be able to dig through RAMP. So on the next slide, I just want to leave with some encouragement. So be patient. There's a lot to learn. There's a lot of information on how to do business with the city. We've provided some links to you at the end of this seminar. There are some links of some webinars we've hosted in the past that are meant for first-time bidders. It's meant to be some in smaller chunks so that it's easier to understand. So feel free and take advantage of those. Don't give up. I've kind of encouraged you to reach out to the contract administrators, but sometimes they don't always respond. Like city staff, like yourself, have a lot on their plates, and so sometimes they're not able to respond right away, and sometimes response might not come through. And that's why I would encourage that you would reach out to more than one. And then the more you learn, the more equipped you are to be able to respond to future procurement opportunities. I'd also suggest that you attend pre-bid meetings. If they are being held, that's really one way that you almost have a captured audience, where you know that people who are going to bid in that contract is likely to be there. So that's a really good way to network, and as well be able to reach out and talk to a live contract administrator, like on site or at a Zoom meeting. And lastly, we're here to help. Once again, even though we're not direct buyers, we do know our departments, and we can help facilitate questions and answers, and also provide you some guidance. So if you want to reach me, my email is leah.chu@lacity.org. And at the end of this presentation, you'll see an email for our team as well. So there's different ways that you can contact us. And so with that, I really hope that you all decide to register, and not just to stop there, but go ahead and bid with the city. With that, I'm going to hand the meeting back to Tan.
Thank you, Leah, for that great overview of the benefits of RAMP. Now, we would like to share a testimonial video from one of our vendors on RAMP.
Hi, my name is Kevin Ramsey, and I'm president of Alameda Construction Services. We've been in business since 1997. We are a site concrete contractor. We do curb and gutter, sidewalks, driveways, that type of work. We also do minor structural concrete. We use RAMP to find out about opportunities, and also when we're looking for work, we go to RAMP and search the site and see what opportunities are out there. And every agency in the city has their own contracts, but you can find out all about that when you register with RAMP, and then because that's where you go to look for the project. So all the city agencies put all of their bid opportunities in RAMP. The advice that I would recommend is keep the faith. You could do this. Find your opportunities. Find something that'll fit for your company. Find something that'll fit for your scope of work. The most important thing is to register in RAMP, because once you register in RAMP, then you find the opportunity. Sometimes the opportunity to find you. You know, people are looking for you. So look in Ramp at least 2 or 3 times a week. Find the opportunity that you like. Put your proposal in, learn from your proposal, and do it again. Do it again, do it again, and then one of these times you're gonna get the opportunity to do it, and then once you do it, you do a good job so they can call you back. That's how we do our business. You know, we like to do repeat business with customers that like to do business with us. That's how you stay in business. That's how you get business with Ramp. It's a great opportunity. Don't miss out. Make sure you register, go there and look and send your proposals in.
Awesome. That was a great testimonial from Kevin Ramsey on the benefits of Ramp, and we are glad that it has served him well as an important resource for his business. Now, for an overview of the Ramp registration process. The first step is to click the login/registered green colored button on the top right-hand corner of the registration page. This is on rampla.org. So after doing that, you'll be taken to the Angelino account landing page. Please sign up by clicking the sign up button beside the don't have an account text that's circled in red at the bottom right. This registration process can be done rather quickly, taking about 15 minutes to complete. Next, enter in your email. Make sure that your password includes uppercase, lowercase, at least one number, and special characters. For your phone number, we recommend that you list your cell phone number for authentication purposes, should you enable that. And lastly, just check off I'm not a robot. Then you can click the blue register button. The question in the chat, if I am a city employee, should I use my city email? No, there is a different process for city employees, and we can help you with that. Just send us a ticket or message. Next, the system will indicate that a verification email has been sent to you, so proceed to check your email for verification from Angelino. If you did not receive an email, please check your spam folder or make sure that you typed in the correct email address. Now, you should receive an email that says, welcome to Angelino. Angelino is the city's single sign-on system, which allows users to log into several city websites and applications with a single login credential. An Angelino account is required in order to register and log into Ramp. Activate your account by clicking on the green link within the email. This is a one-time ticket. This is a one-time token, so you only need to click it once and you're good to go. Now, when you're registering, just fill out the noted fields. For sole proprietorships, your name is the company name and not the DBA. Do not put a DBA as your company name, and sole proprietorships will not be required to add a tax ID. As noted on this slide, filling out your company's information will also enable you to determine whether your company is already registered in Ramp. This step is important to avoid establishing duplicate accounts. If you do see a duplicate account or if your account already exists, please go ahead and proceed with the account that exists. On this slide, your title must be typed where indicated. For sole proprietorships, just enter the owner's name. Next step of this registration process, complete all these sections and only enter a registered DBA. DBAs, or doing business as, are registered with the county where your business is located. You may add a logo if you have one. In the summary section, this is your opportunity to clearly describe what your company does. This space allows a maximum of 200 characters, not including spaces, so be concise. For the business address section, do not use a PO box. Instead, use a physical address. Otherwise, the system will reject your entry. Please note that your phone number requires dashes, and please also enter an email address for your business. If you have a business tax registration certificate or BTRC, please enter that number as well. Otherwise, contact the city's Office of Finance to apply for one. Your BTRC only applies if your business is located within the city of LA or if you're interested in doing business with the city of LA. While it does not contain an asterisk indicating a required field to be filled out, please indicate whether your company is for-profit or a nonprofit business. The most important step on this page is the register as field, where we encourage, or rather it's encouraged that the prime sub designation is selected. By selecting this option versus selecting only prime or only sub, you increase the number of notifications you may receive regarding all opportunities related to your business type. Please note that these designations refer to all types of vendors, not to be confused with those in the construction field. On the next slide, on this registration page, the North American Industry Classification System, or NICS codes, can be found on your taxes on the header under box B, or you can find the codes at the US Census website at the address noted on the slide. These codes are related to your business industry and are usually 6 digits long. By completing this section, you will be notified of contracting opportunities that relate to your business industry. Please review your company's NICS codes to make sure that the codes listed under your company's profiles are relevant to your company's type of work. And keep in mind that only the company's administrator can change the company's NICS codes. Additional guidance can be found under the support page in the user manual section on how to update your company's NICS codes. And one thing to keep in mind is that you can only have up to 10 NICS codes. This can be changed later. So if you need to change it out, that's all good. And for now, just keep that in mind, a maximum of 10 codes. At this stage, you may complete the demographics that relate to you as the business owner. The other identifying info drop-down space is for identifying male, female, or other. Number of employees is optional if under 20. For annual revenue, this information is also optional. For the work history section, this is your opportunity to talk about your work experience. You may wish to use any information from a LinkedIn account if you have one. This slide lists the various certifications that you may have applied for and serves as a space for verification of your current certifications with recognized agencies. You may skip this certification step if it does not apply to you. Otherwise, if certifications were completed by any of the other entities as noted on the left side of the slide, know that they are recognized by the City of Los Angeles as well. If you skip this step initially, know that you may return to it later if and or when you have certifications to list. Now you're near the end of your registration process. where you can review your business profile and information. Please take time to review it carefully, especially for the administrator details, company name, and tax ID, as these fields can only be changed by ramp support. After reviewing the information, scroll all the way to the bottom and click on click on the green submit button. Now you are officially registered for RAMP when you see the "Thank you for registering" message. So we have a quick disclaimer on vendor profile information. As stated on all vendor profiles, the City of Los Angeles does not endorse, take no responsibility for, nor exercises control over the information by the linked organizations. The City of Los Angeles is also not responsible for its view, content, nor does it vouch for the accuracy or accessibility of the information. The City of Los Angeles also cannot authorize the use of copyrighted materials containing linked websites. Users must request such information and authorization from the sponsor or owner of the linked website. Now for a review of some RAMP resources. To access these resources, please click on the support at the top right-hand corner next to the login/register button, where you will locate frequently asked questions regarding registration, your RAMP profile, certifications, and other helpful information. You may also wish to refer to the set of frequently asked questions that were included in the initial email regarding your RAMP webinar registration. You can also access user manuals for submitting your company's compliance documents, for understanding the Business Inclusion Program, or BIP, the outreach process for that, as well as how to add NICS codes and licenses to your profile. We highly recommend you take some time to review these resources before submitting a snow ticket requesting technical assistance, as they may be providing information you're seeking. And a snow ticket is our support system, where we will provide a link to in a bit. Now, we would like to cover some frequently asked account-related questions. After you've registered, you may have some additional account information. For example, you'd like to update your business profile. The first resource would be to look into the account management manual in the previous slide, where guidance is provided on how to manage users by adding them or disabling their account, how to update your business account. And please note that only the administrator can edit the Business Inclusion Program roles for other users, deactivate inactive users, add users, request certification verification, and submit compliance documents. Users cannot be deleted. They can only be deactivated, and this is to prevent them from creating a new account. And last thing to note is that there can only be one administrator. Another account-related question is, how do I change my company name and tax ID? These are two fields that the administrator cannot change. In order to do so, please submit a ticket to us at snow.lacity.org/rampla and attach supporting documentation such as the California Secretary of State filing, business tax registration certificate, the BTRC, or your tax account documentation. something that would show legal documentation to support these changes. And then one last account-related question we often receive is, how do I change the company account administrator? So situations happen when maybe the current administration, maybe when the current administrator is no longer with the company or able to uh, request a change. We ask that you submit a ticket again to snow.lacity.org/rampla. Please note that if you choose to use a group email, those who have access to the email will also have access to edit your RAMP account and make changes to the account, such as changes to the company's profile, user management settings, and the business inclusion program roles. These are some of the risks that come with using a shared email account. As long as you're aware of the risk, it is acceptable to use a group email. However, we do recommend using an individual's email account as the admin just for accountability. Now, we'll cover some certifications related questions. A commonly asked certification question is, what are the qualifications to be recognized as a certified company? The certifications FAQ on our support page can provide some guidance on that. Some of the certifications recognized include, for example, the Disabled Business Enterprise, or the DBE, Disabled Veteran Business Enterprise, DVBE, Minority Owned Business Enterprise, just a few of the recognized certifications. Another commonly asked question is, how do I apply to be a certified company recognized by the City of Los Angeles? The Office of Contract Compliance, Certification Outreach, Regulation, and Enforcement is responsible for administering the city's certification program. You can find them at bca.lacity.org/certification. Currently, only the following certifications can be applied for through RAMP, and those are the Local Business Preference Program. That includes the Local Business Enterprise, the LBE, City Business Enterprise, CBE, Local Small Business, and Local Transitional Employer. And the other certification that can be applied for through RAMP are the Local State Disabled Veteran Business Enterprise. For LAWA, the Los Angeles World Airports, and the Local Business Enterprise for Harbor, or the Port of LA. The certifications on RAMP user manual can provide more guidance on how to request verification and recognition of current certifications and how to apply for them. Please note that when applying for any certifications, the legal name of your company should be used. Now, another common question that we get is, my company is already registered and certified. How do I request to be recognized by such or as such on RAMP? In the certifications on RAMP user manual, in the FAQs, it outlines the process on how to request certification verification. And then remember, you must already be a certified company in order to be verified on RAMP. Now for some questions about opportunities. There were some questions in the chat earlier. I haven't gotten a chance to go through all of them, but I'm seeing our staff answering them. So if you have more questions, please just keep popping them into the chat. To be clear, when we speak about opportunities or an opportunity, we're referring to contracting opportunities with the city or any of our regional partners who use RAMP to advertise their needs for particular contractors. So some commonly asked questions about opportunities would be, how do I view or download documents listed with an opportunity? Now, you must be registered on RAMP and logged in order to download and view documents listed on an opportunity. So note that the only difference between a user not logged in and a user who is logged in is the ability to download documents and files. So you can view any opportunity and you can view the details of any opportunity, but in order to view the documents or any files attached to to an opportunity, you must be logged in. Now, next question is, how can I be notified when an opportunity is posted? Registered and active users on RAMP will receive notifications when an opportunity matches the NICS codes on your company's profile. Another commonly asked question is, how do I get more information regarding a specific opportunity? If you have questions about a specific opportunity, please contact the department contact or the contract administrator listed for that opportunity. Those would be the subject matter experts who can better answer your questions regarding the specific opportunity. On this slide and the following 3 slides will show you how to navigate through an opportunity to help you find the opportunity contact person. And this is where Leo was talking about using this as a resource to help you for your opportunity. And on this page, to access it, go to the search for opportunities at the top navigation bar, and then just fill out the information on the filters on the left side to customize your opportunity search. And then click on any opportunity you're interested in. For this example, we'll be using the innovative partnership as shown by the red arrow. So after you click on the link to the opportunity, it'll show you this slide that shows the opportunity details, which includes the contact person. If you're interested in bidding on this opportunity, you may click the Add to Bookmarks button to save the opportunity for future reference and for ease of accessibility. So once you go back into your account, the My Business profile, you may click on Bookmarks on the left-hand side under Company Details, and then you can access your bookmarks to see any bookmark opportunities. And this might save you some time instead of trying to search and filter for the opportunity again. So on this slide, you'll see that in this example, we saved innovative partnership to the account profile, and it's just easier and quicker to access from here. Next, we'll answer or we'll review some questions regarding compliance documents. When responding to a city opportunity, please know that you will be required to submit some contracting compliance documents with your proposal, and any remaining documents will be required at the time of contract execution should you be selected as a contractor. Regarding the submission of compliance documents, please know that all companies registered on RAMP may complete the compliance documents in advance or at the time of responding to an opportunity. All forms may be completed and submitted by the company's administrator. Only the administrator can do this. And then note that each form is only valid for a specific amount of time. This will also be indicated on the My Business profile under the compliance documents. You may refer to the company compliance documents manual in the ramp support section for more details and guidance on how to submit these compliance documents. Please note that these instructions do not apply to bidders or proposers responding to contracting opportunities advertised by the Los Angeles World Airports, the Port of Los Angeles, and the Department of Water and Power. Under the compliance documents section of your business profile, this is where you may upload your disclosure ordinance, your equal benefits first source hiring ordinance affidavit, as well as the Executive Directive 35 compliance documents. The submitted forms will be verified by the city's Bureau of Contract Administration only if your company is a successful proposer or bidder selected for the contract award. Lastly, pursuant to Executive Directive 35, if a bidder is selected and awarded a contract, the contractor, and if the contractor is a for-profit company or corporation, the contractor shall, within 30 days of the effective date of the contract and on an annual basis thereafter, report the following information to the city via RAMP. The contractors and any subcontractors' annual revenue, the number of employees, location, industry, race/ethnicity, and gender of the majority owner. The purpose of ED 35, Executive Directive 35, is to collect standardized information from businesses that the city contracts with in order to determine which areas, industries, and types of businesses are faced with barriers to contracting. The data collected is for informational and statistical purposes only and will not be used in the bid or proposal submission, bid evaluation, or bidding awarding process. More information and guidance can be found on our RAMP support page in order to fill it out. Lastly, we'd like to offer some additional business resources. Please know that we have conducted a number of informative small business webinars to provide small businesses with resources and guidance on how to do business with the city. Links to the YouTube recording are available for you in accessing these past webinars. And just a quick reminder, we will be sending out the recording of the slide deck, the chat, and the presentation webinar itself. Now, included on this slide are links to various business source centers that provide technical assistance to small businesses throughout the city of Los Angeles. And on this slide are other helpful business resources for your reference. Now, that completes our presentation for today, and we hope that this information has been helpful in getting you to register on RAMP, as well as hopefully answering some commonly asked questions and demonstrating some key functions of RAMP. Should you require additional information or assistance, please submit your request through our web form, which can be accessed on snow.lacity.org/rampla. You may also wish to follow us on our social media platforms for Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. And just a reminder, this presentation was recorded and you will receive a copy of the recording, the slide deck, and the chat history. Our next monthly RAMP registration webinar is scheduled for Wednesday, October 23rd at 11 a.m. For technical assistance. Again, that's submit a ticket at snow.lacity.org/rampla. Just provide as much information as possible. If you need supporting documentation or screenshots, that would help us help you to troubleshoot any issues. At this time, we do have a few minutes to verbally respond to questions. And we'd like to welcome back Leah Chu as well as Liz Diaz to help with answering these questions.
Hi, so feel free to unmute yourselves if you have questions. I think the team has been able to answer most of your questions that have come up during the chats on the side. But if we've somehow missed your question and we haven't quite answered it, feel free to unmute yourself and ask your question.
Hi, my name is Hillary.
Hi, Hillary.
I have a quick question. We're a small mom and pop Mexican restaurant recently accepted into the Los Angeles Legacy Business Program, which we're excited about. And I wanted to know if there's opportunities for a small mom and pop restaurant with less than 5 employees.
Yeah, I think Ramp would be the place that you would double check that. But I think if I were going to be honest, I think it's probably going to be hard to find that kind of advertised right on Ramp, being that, I mean, if you're looking to expand to a much more like
I want to grow.
are
I
you
want to grow.
to grow?
I'm in the process of, we just changed from a sole proprietor to
Uh-huh.
a corporation, and like I said, we've been around since 1982,
Okay,
and we're looking to expand and grow our family legacy.
certainly. Um, Sorry, I'm trying to look right now. What I can think of is that in terms of what would show up is if you look up concessions, because we have food concessions. It's not quite probably in the same vein as you're thinking about, but that's another opportunity to potentially expand that would be available on our website. And I would, once again, when you're doing your search on our website to look for these opportunities, remember that there's a filter on status that shows it's only on open and amended. When you're trying to do your research, you want to change the status to include opportunities that have been closed or awarded, and look for concession and look for catering and to see where those opportunities are. Because I see a bunch of them pop up in terms of concessions and looking at catering.
I
And
think
there's
that's
been
a
a few.
great. Thank you. That's a great suggestion, because we do want to start putting ourselves out there and growing and get better and get more practice. And I figured Ramp would be if the opportunity was there, would be a good opportunity. Like you said, concession stands. I think that would be a perfect fit for us, because we could take the team that we have now to go do that event, if we were selected in the bid.
Yes, and then I think one other place that you should probably reach out to is at El Pueblo, because I heard you mention it's a Mexican restaurant, and so I think that that's one of the like basically the flavors that we're hoping to kind of keep consistent is that heritage and history in our El Pueblo. So I think that there's also puestos that would be out for bid. So that's a little bit different, but that's another way that you might want to consider how you can engage with the city of LA.
What's El Pueblo? I'm sorry.
El Pueblo is a street in like in downtown LA. There's a street that's called El Pueblo, and it basically highlights the history of LA and its original birthplace. And so all the shops there are basically of it has to have a Mexican origin in it.
Got it.
Yeah.
Leah, it's also
Yes.
known as Olvera Street. You may
All
know
very soon.
better. It's
Oh
Thank
yes,
you.
Olvera. Of course I know
Thank you.
Olvera Street. Oh my God, I grew up going there. Thank you.
Sorry.
I
Okay,
wanted
great.
to answer a question that someone had also about somebody asked. Oh, yes, I think we have the answer. Thank you. Somebody asked what agency is responsible for the Rio de Los Angeles, and I'm guessing they're talking about the Los Angeles River. So yes, I see our support staff have answered that question, that it is our Rec and Parks department. So thank you for that.
And I know some people have been asking about certifications. If from my personal perspective, I think I'd go after a local business enterprise certification only because that has an actual financial impact. We do provide a preference. So if your bid was a certain amount and you were local to either the county or local to the city, we kind of give preference for those contractors. And if you're a subcontractor, somebody who picks you up as a subcontractor can also receive a preference. And so that's how we're trying to encourage use of local um, small businesses. So I think that's one of, if I had my choice, and I don't have much time, that's one certification that I'd go after. It's free.
Good morning. This is Fareed Faruqi here. And
Hi, Fareed.
thanks to you and Tan for a beautiful presentation. I live in Orange County, but I do most of my work in Los Angeles. We have a food pantry, food rescue thing called Harmony Bites. And we serve about 2,000 families every Saturday in South LA. We have 5 locations, 2 of them in LA and others are spread out. But I also have another nonprofit called Universal Heritage. It's not registered in LA. It's a 501c3, both are 501c3, but the food rescue one is registered in LA. The question that I have, your Olympics are coming up in 28, and then 26 is the World Cup. I know the city is busy doing many things, and a small nonprofit like us, like many others on this call, I'm just trying to see what is the best way, not just to get into the city procurement and ramp, but is there an agency for arts, culture, and other type of areas that we will be showcasing Los Angeles during and before and after the Olympics? I'm just thinking loud. Can you point me in some direction? Where and how do I qualify my nonprofits and not just be a service provider, but actually get into working with side by side with the county and the city when it comes to arts, ethnic food? I just heard that young lady talking about expanding this legacy, and you mentioned Alvora Street and other things. And we have so much richness within Los Angeles to really put it out on the international scene when these major events are coming through.
Certainly, I think you echo a lot of the heart that many of our leadership have expressed to be able to take advantage and capitalize on these major events that are happening within the city. And in terms of being able to highlight certain cultural heritage, and just because the city is just so rich in all these different aspects, I think I don't think that there's at this time specific plans yet, but what I have heard is that there is an intent to have a cultural Olympiad. And I think that this is a process that's also done with all the other Olympics that has occurred. It's happened in Paris and the ones before, and it's certainly something else that will happen as well with the city's Olympics when it is hosted here. We don't have much information yet, but to the extent that when we get them, we'll make sure to share it through our RAMP newsletter.
So would RAMP be if I register under RAMP, is this something that I can be part of as an organization?
And not so much in that way directly, in the way that you had asked about, but I think it's one way that we can make sure we can make sure that the information gets to you once we are familiar with it. And feel free to email me as well. Like I said, leah.chu@lacd.org. And
Can you
I'll
repeat
keep
that
a
one more
pin.
time? Yeah.
So you can see under my name how it's spelled. So it's
Oh, yeah.
leah.chu@lacd.org. And then that way I can put a pin for myself to kind of reach out once I find more information.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Yeah.
That'll be great. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Mhm.
Good morning. This is
morning.
Shara Reynolds. I am an artist and I would like to know what are the opportunities on RAMP for artists, local artists?
Well, I think that all the departments are supposed to be posting their websites, I'm sorry, posting their opportunities on this website. And so I think in terms of an artist, you'd be interested when you do your search, you want to search under our cultural affairs department. So when you're doing your search on the side, once you have ramp up, another way that you can search is under organization, and under organization, if you put cultural affairs, that would be one way that you can find out opportunities that are relevant to artists.
All right, thank you.
Hello, my name is Martin Johnson. I'm with Johnson's Capital Partners Corporation. I'm a recently approved investment manager. I was wondering if you all have professional services, put emphasis on professional services such as mine. I would want to do business with the city's treasurer's office, the cash management pension fund. I manage money for institutional clients, and I was wondering if those opportunities are on your platform as well.
I am looking at it right now. So yes, you're right. You have lasers. You have also LAFPP. So that's fire police pensions. They are ones who would be also managing their own funds. Um,
A lot of times those
but it-
organizations are separate and apart from this sort of platform, and I was wondering, are they included or not?
It should be. And I say should be. I see I see fire and police pensions definitely, but it's from 2021. And I'm surprised I'm not seeing anybody. Oh no. I just kind of want to confirm before I say yes. I definitely see fire and police pensions, and what you want to do is put in manage investments, and I see it there. Investment.
Yes.
Maybe
Okay.
manager as well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Hello, can you hear me? I don't find a way to raise my hand. This is Julian
That's
Ramirez.
okay. Hi, Julian.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I have done in the past a little bit of a business with the Section A. My company is engaged in services. We do refinish or reglaze porcelain and fiberglass bathtubs. So I'd like to know if it's an opportunity for me to fill it out this what you call the ramp, to see it's I know there are other people doing business already with you, but I just want to see if it's an opportunity for me to get into this.
I think, well, Julian, can you repeat how big of a company are we looking at? Are we looking at a relatively big, you have a lot of people, or
No, all I can tell you is that we've been in business since 1980. I'm licensed from the state of California with the C61 specialty license to refinish, or you can call reglaze, porcelain and fiberglass bathtub in place without removal. So we've been doing this in apartment buildings and homeowners. So we have about 6 employees, and 2 in the office.
Okay.
So we still don't make the $1 million a year.
That's okay. I mean, I think that there's always a place for everybody, right? But when you mention doing bathtubs, the first thing that comes to my mind is a lot of our housing projects.
Yes.
I think that's where, and so in your case, how I would recommend you use RAMP is that you would look at our housing department. You'd look at, well, maybe just look at housing and make sure that you register as a subcontractor, because I think when you're looking at affordable housing, those are potentially where you're going to be able to find opportunities to subcontract with people. So I think it's probably important, like when you reach out, like say, when you click on one of these projects for affordable housing, I would suggest what I said earlier, reach out to the contract administrator and ask like, hey, like what are the most likely prime contractors who are bidding on this contract? And that way you can find out who you need to talk to, who you could potentially subcontract with to be able to offer your glazing services.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So I will need to actually, probably the first step take is get registered with RAMS, correct?
Yes. You know the information I'm telling you in terms of finding out who does what, that's you don't need to register for that. So if you want to skip registration, that's fine. You could still go on Ramp, look for like use the word on the opportunity, use the word housing. And I think that's one way that you can find out more about projects and contractors who are gonna need your services.
Oh, okay. So I should go on housing projects.
Yes, just
Okay.
housing.
Housing,
Don't put
just housing.
projects. Yeah, just put housing or affordable housing is another one.
Okay.
Yeah,
Very well. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
no problem.
All right. Thank you everyone for joining us this morning. As a reminder, we will be sending out the presentation, the slides, and the chat history for all registered users. So thank you and have a good day.
You too, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you for joining.
Thank you. It's great stuff.
Great. Thank you.